Google Ads is changing faster now than it has in years. There's new AI features that are rolling out, old campaign types are disappearing, and Google's automating more of the platform than ever before. The problem is, if you're still managing your campaigns the same way that you were even a year ago, you could be wasting money without even realizing it. So in this video, I'll walk you through the biggest Google Ads changes that you need to know about, what they actually mean for your business, and what you should be doing before these updates affect your campaigns. The first update you should know about is set to launch on August 17th and is happening to Smart Bidding, but it's not going to affect everyone. So this change is only going to apply if you are using a target CPA or target ROAS bidding, if your campaign is limited by budget and your campaign has been consistently outperforming the target that you have set. So Google is saying that campaigns that historically outperform the target CPA or target ROAS will now be pushed to bid closer to those exact targets. What does this mean in layman's terms? So let's say you've set a target CPA of $100. You have told Google that you're happy paying up to $100 to generate a lead. But because your campaign is budget limited, Google has actually been generating leads for around $60 each. So then your actual CPA is significantly lower than your target CPA. So up until now, Google would often just keep finding those cheaper conversions for you. But with this update, Google's going to become much more aggressive about spending your available budget, so it's going to bring your average cost per lead back towards that $100 target that you originally gave it. And that's why it's more important than ever to make sure that your target CPA and your target ROAS is actually based on what a lead is worth to your business, instead of just accepting Google's recommendations. So if you're using these bidding strategies, I'd recommend checking the true CPA over the last 30 or 60 days. And if it is significantly lower than the target that you have set for that campaign, then it is worth adjusting that target. And remember, whenever you make changes to bidding or budgets, don't judge the results after just a few days. So Google recommends waiting at least 1 or 2 conversion cycles before evaluating the performance. And if you have a longer sales cycle, that could take several weeks. The next update is probably the biggest long-term change happening inside of Google Ads. So Google is continuing its rollout of AI Max, and it will be discontinuing the dynamic search ads or DSAs. So Google will be automatically migrating any DSA or dynamic search ads over to AI Max in early 2027. So that means that your website is becoming more important than ever because AI Max uses your site to create headlines, assets, or change landing pages depending on the searcher. So if your site has old service pages or outdated location pages, career pages, blog posts teaching people how to do something themselves, Google could potentially start matching searches to those pages if you haven't properly reviewed your settings. So before enabling AI Max, you want to spend some time cleaning up your website and adding URL exclusions where appropriate in the Google Ads account. Google says advertisers using the full AI Max feature have seen around a 7% increase in conversions or conversion value at a similar cost per acquisition, which is pretty encouraging to see. But do remember that that's Google's overall average. It doesn't mean that every account will automatically improve. So my recommendation is to test AI Max using Google's built-in experiments before rolling it out across all your entire campaign. If you want to learn more about AI Max, I did do a video about that a couple weeks ago, so go check that one out. Another update that's worth knowing about is the removal of the call-only ads, and this one has been announced for a long time now, but I do still get a lot of questions about it. You can no longer create new call-only ads, and the existing call-only ads that are running will stop serving in early 2027. Fortunately, the replacement is pretty straightforward, so Google recommends using responsive search ads together with call assets. For most businesses, that's actually a better experience anyway because people can visit your website before deciding whether they want to actually call and hire you. So for this one, you just want to make sure that your landing page is mobile friendly and that it makes it incredibly easy for someone to pick up the phone and call you. I'd also recommend scheduling your call assets so that they only appear during your business hours. There's not much point encouraging phone calls if nobody's there to actually answer them. The last update is probably the easiest one to have missed, especially if your campaigns are on a schedule. So Google is changing how it spends your budget when you use day-based ad scheduling. And this update rolled out in June. But basically what it means is that Google will still spend roughly 30.4 times your daily budget. What's changing is how aggressively Google spends that budget during the days that your campaign is actually allowed to run. So for example, let's say that your daily budget is $100 and your ads are only running Monday through Friday. So previously, Google would spread your budget across those weekdays. So if the month had 22 working days, then you would spend around $2,200 over the course of the month. Now, Google sees your campaign as having a monthly budget of about $3,000. So since your ads are only running on weekdays, it may spend much more aggressively during those active days to reach that $3,000 limit. Your ads still won't appear on the weekends if you've turned the weekends off, but don't be surprised if you suddenly notice much higher spend during the weekdays than you're used to. So if you want to keep your monthly spend roughly the same as it was before, you'll probably need to reduce your daily budget. The simple formula to follow now is whatever your monthly budget is, divide it by 30.4. So if your goal is to still stay around that $2,200 per month, then your daily budget would now be closer to 72 instead of that 100. At the end of the day, all of these changes show that Google is automating more and more of the platform every year. It is taking over bidding, it's taking over keyword matching, it's taking over ad creation, it's taking more control over your budgets. And because of that, the information that you give back to Google is so important. So your conversion tracking, your target CPA, your website content, your budgets, your landing pages, your schedules, those are all signals that Google's AI uses to optimize your campaigns. And so the better that those signals are, the better chance Google has of finding more qualified leads for your campaigns. So if you do want to learn more about some of these changes that are coming, I did do a video earlier in the year, back in January, explaining some of it. And if you do want to learn more about AI Max or when you should actually use it and how to set it up properly, I put together another video that goes much deeper into it. So click right here and I'll walk you through everything you need to know before turning it on in your own account. And I'll see you over there.